What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Force here with some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm beta commentary. Today's game is going to be between WhiteRa and drewbie. This is a Terran versus Protoss matchup. We are here on the map Akalon Waste. And before we get into the game, I do just want to let you guys know that this replay here is actually coming from WhiteRa's replay pack, which was posted about a week ago. The reason that is significant, though, is that this makes this game before the most recent beta update. Now, if you don't know, there was recently an update to the Heart of the Swarm beta in which some significant changes took place. One of the most notable is that they removed the Warhound, the Terran anti-mechanical unit, the Warhound, which was, you know, many were deeming overpowered, and I guess rightfully so, has been removed from the beta. And the reason that information is important is because since this replay is from before that update, and because it's a TVP matchup, chances are pretty good that we're going to see drewbie use the Warhound. So I do just want you guys to keep in mind that the Warhound no longer exists in the Heart of the Swarm. It sure could potentially come back at some point in the future. I'm not going to completely rule that out, but as of now, it is no longer a unit that is actually in the game. And look at this here, drewbie opens up with a refinery first, undoubtedly going to be getting Warhounds very early in this game. If nothing else, even though this replay is a little bit dated, it's going to show us maybe why they removed the Warhound. Let's see how this whole thing plays out here. We got a scout now moving out for WhiteRa. He's moving out with his scouting probe after placing down his gateway and assimilator, both of those building now at the moment. Now the probe scout will be moving into the main base of drewbie in just a second, and with this, WhiteRa should be fully aware that there's going to be a factory very shortly here for drewbie. In fact, just seeing the fact that this barracks is so late should tip him off as to what's coming, and he's going to confirm this by moving up and checking the amount of gas left in the refinery that drewbie has been mining from. Also, drewbie asking if the server has been laggy on North America. Interesting question. So what WhiteRa is going to do is he's going to click here on the refinery. That's going to show him how much gas is left, and that's pretty much going to tip him off. Again, though, seeing this so late is a pretty strong indicator as well that there is going to be a refinery very shortly. And look at this, WhiteRa is just going to move right back in, and in doing so, spots that building refinery, also spots a tech lab, so we're likely to see that hot swap for a very fast unit that no longer exists. The Warhound is what we're going to expect drewbie to come out with here. WhiteRa now moving back with his probe, pretty positive of what's coming up. He is now done with his gateway as well as that cybernetics core. We will be seeing that first stalker come through and a pylon now being placed right here by that front ramp. Zealot making his way across the map. Is he going to grab a tower? Is he going to push forward? We'll have to wait and see here. It looks like he will just be grabbing a tower. Likely this one right here, so that he can see any Warhounds marching across the map. Speaking of Warhounds, let's take a look back over here. Barracks has been lifted off of the tech lab, and now being attached to the factory. Factory will be producing... Would you look at that? It is a Warhound. This is going to be so interesting. It's like a case study. We're like, hey, let's take a look back at to what the Warhound did and maybe why it was removed. Now with this early Warhound, we're also going to be seeing drewbie come out with an expansion here at the same time. We do have a Nexus building over here for WhiteRa, also coming out with his mothership core that will be building right out of this first Nexus. Look how fast that thing builds. If you don't know, pretty quick build time at 30 seconds. You chrono boost that in, and that's coming a lot faster. So there we go, mothership core is now in. That will start accumulating some energy. Once it gets up to 75, it can actually use that purify ability, which gives it some actually offensive capabilities, the ability to do damage for 45 seconds. First Warhound now charging across the map, and the Stalker going to get a couple shots off on that. Now I wonder if drewbie's just going to turn around and kill that Stalker. No, he's just going to bypass it and make his way straight towards that expansion. Now this, of course, WhiteRa does know about. And the Stalker now doing what? The Stalker's going to pull up to this Xel'Naga tower. So with this second Xel'Naga tower, if drewbie sends his second Warhound to try to kill the Stalker that wasn't that one, he's actually going to be safe over here. Oh, he's not even going to that tower. And the Zealots and Stalker of WhiteRa doing an okay job so far, but with a little bit of micro, drewbie might be able to kill off. Oh, it's going to be pretty close. Almost gets the Stalker. Ends up losing his Warhound, though. That pretty actually impressive there by WhiteRa. The real danger is with the second Warhound coming through. First check in the tower. And is he going to try to move up to the second tower? Yeah, what is he doing? He's going back home? Okay, he's going back home. You know, with that second Warhound, he most likely could have taken out this Stalker, but I guess he was probably concerned about the possible warp-ins that we would be seeing from WhiteRa. Also, the fact that Mothership Core does now have enough energy to purify means that WhiteRa is A-okay at this point in time. We're just going to see more and more mech here from drewbie, now transitioning into some Hellion play. He's got a Hellion coming out of both these factories. No research coming yet from these tech labs. We do also have another factory building and another command center. So drewbie will be sitting on 3 command centers, 3 orbital commands to be more specific. He will use this to saturate that natural nice and quick. Make sure this is fully saturated, then eventually move his way down over here. We got lots of activity going on in the center of the map with Warhounds and Hellions moving out. We have a scouting probe grabbing the tower, so he knows what's coming up here. And the Mothership Core providing a little bit of frontal scouting for WhiteRa. Hasn't activated that Purify yet, which is good. Save up that energy, continue to accumulate that. Now has enough energy to even energize, which I actually haven't seen put into much effect at all in any StarCraft game so far. And he finally has enough energy to mass recall. I think I've seen that once so far in all the games I've commentated of the beta. Alright, so now we do have a Star Gate coming out over here for WhiteRa. It's currently sitting on 2 Warp Gates, make that 3 and 4 Warp Gates. Stargate just about finished. Second on the simulator coming down at the natural. Also the charge upgrade for Zealots. Where is that Twilight? There it is. Twilight Council coming out with that charge upgrade. And continuous production of mechanical units over here for drewbie as once more he is sitting on 3 factories. That 3rd orbital now finished. You can see it is rallied right there to that natural to try to make sure he can saturate that. Scouting Hellions moving out. And WhiteRa coming out with a factory now. We'll start getting some of those upgrades. And Oracle production. All right, so we're going to be seeing some econ harass here from WhiteRa. Now the Oracle has also been changed slightly as well. There's been some pretty significant changes with that most recent update. So I'm really looking forward to showing you some games from that. But right now, this is what we got. All right, Hellion scouting out the 3rd to see when and if WhiteRa does move down to expand that. Now, did he spot that the rocks are no longer there? Yes, he did. So he did see that WhiteRa broke down these rocks over here. You can see typically there are some destructible rocks, and that alone is enough to tell drewbie that there should be an expansion coming over here soon. And it looks like he's mobilizing to prepare to try to delay that, pushing out here with his Hellions and the Warhounds. I wouldn't be too surprised if those Hellions just switch right into the battle mode. Oracle now moving out. Just got the 1 in play here. Now he's going to be moving straight past the 3rd. Is he going to try to delay this, or is he going to go straight for the main? That'd be probably be the wisest decision. There we go, going straight for the main, going to entomb all of this. Oh, how frustrating is that? He has enough energy to even entomb down over here too. Really going to significantly do some damage to drewbie with the double entombs there, but at the same time, big push coming out. Battle mode Hellions doing some damage to those Zealots, and the Warhounds in the background with the assist. Oh, see you later. Lots of damage. However, without any anti-air, he's going to have to stay away from this Mothership Core. It does pretty decent damage and attacks pretty quickly as well. The one issue with it is that it's so very slow. Now those Battle Hellions pushing on over here. We also have a cannon to help defend. Interesting. And here comes the Void Ray plus the Zealots. That's going to be enough to mop up the rest of these Warhound forces. Oracle has made its way back. The Entomb finally dealt with. drewbie sitting with some idle SCVs. Hopefully he puts those guys to work. There we go. Finally gets those guys to work. drewbie also now breaking down these destructible rocks. And then need to start making sure he's got a little bit of anti-air. We got some Widow Mines coming out. Has he deployed any of those yet? No, he doesn't. Those are going to be his first couple of Widow Mines. I'd be interested to see what drewbie decides to do with that, where exactly he decides to put it. Oh, did he just energize the Oracle? Yes, he did. That's what he did, didn't he? So he used the Mothership to energize the Oracle, returning its energy, and now WhiteRa moving back out with this Mineral Harass unit. We'll be able to go ahead and entomb again, creating a shield over the mineral fields here, and further delaying drewbie's mining. I think, did he just double it up? I don't know. I thought he had enough energy to entomb both of these. I wonder if he misclicked and double entombed these. I'm not sure. Anyways, was able to harass this, nevertheless, do a little bit of damage. Oracle just chilling out up here. Vikings are coming through for drewbie, so finally going to have some anti-air to deal with this. Besides the Vikings, we do also have this Void Ray. Just the one, though. So just one Void Ray and one Oracle. Plus, I guess the Mothership Core, that is air as well. Another push coming out here from drewbie, moving out with his Hellions and the Warhound. Grabbing the tower. Then pulling back. We get a Void Ray. Uh-oh. Here come the Vikings, though. And the Void Ray is a goner. Maybe just focus on trying to kill another worker. No, tries to take out a Viking. Gets it to half health before it dies. I did get a few worker kills, though. We got some Widow Mines to deal with potential drop harass, I suppose. Pretty interesting. I wonder, those could potentially be used against their shields as well, so I guess that's not a bad idea either. I think he just has those 2 for now, though. Yeah, just the 2 Widow Mines. And that is all she wrote. Fleet Beacon just about finished over here for WhiteRa. Speaking of Fleet Beacons, the carriers are back. Not in this game, but in the most recent update. So we have seen the return of the carrier. I will be intrigued to see if that sees any play, because really, in Wings of Liberty, pretty much never saw it. So I'll be interested to see how that comes into play, and if the carrier is a more used unit in Heart of the Swarm. Viking, Warhound, and Hellions. That is the composition now for drewbie. Pushing its way towards the natural expansion of WhiteRa. WhiteRa sitting Zealot heavy with some High Templar and Archon action. As his Mothership Core has just energized the Oracle. Ew, loses it. And the Mothership Core now changing into a Mothership, which is why we saw that Fleet Beacon in the first place. However, I don't think he's going to get it in time. WhiteRa going to lose the core. Ouch. Loses the core there. Vikings now landing. Now we got some storm action, which is helping a lot, but I don't know that's going to be enough. Going to be pretty close. Yes, more Zealots coming in. Archon's also doing some splash damage, very significant splash damage. And that's enough to force drewbie back, and that took out all of his attacking army. Very nice indeed. WhiteRa now responding here with some counter harass of his own. 5 Zealots. Going to be making their way here towards this third, and we do have the Widow Mine to try to defend. All right, moving in. There's the Widow Mine, only enough to take out the shields, though. And so drewbie is going to have to push his guys off the line. Got some Warhounds now coming to assist. We do have another push now making its way towards this 4th base of drewbie. Archons and Zealots. Warhound's going to try to pull down and try to defend that. Okay, there's the liftoff. Lifting off into safety wasn't damaged enough to start burning, so drewbie is all set, and we're going to see an engagement here. Some storms going down. Archon's doing what they can. Finally get taken out. Nice spread there by drewbie, trying to avoid as much of that splash damage as possible. And the Warhounds are going to be able to chase these guys down. Got to stay back. Zealots coming to help. And that's threatening enough now for drewbie to push back. Also a probe over here. And the Archons got to get out of here. I don't think he wants to stay too much longer unless he just feels like sacrificing these guys. Oh well. Lost the Archons, lost the Zealots. I probably could have gotten away with the Archons. I think if he retreated while the Zealots were forcing back the Warhounds, I think he probably could have retreated there. Now what we're going to see drewbie do is break down the destructible rocks there, forming a full wall off in this position. This is to attempt to stop any further harass from that pylon. He could, of course, just kill that pylon, but he didn't know about it until now. And now that he does, should be able to take care of that. And good timing on forming that wall, because those Zealots were definitely about to head right into that exact position. Speaking of Zealots, more harass over here as 2 Zealots make their way towards the 4th. Going to stop the production there of their refinery. Try to kill off a couple of workers as well. Let's take a look at the total worker kills that's been taking place here. 22 worker kills for WhiteRa, 11 for drewbie. That is interesting. Did I miss some harass somewhere? Or maybe that was in that initial engagement, because we don't really have a lot of injured workers. I literally see 1 injured worker. Oh, there's 2. All right, maybe I did miss some a little bit of econ harass there. Not sure. Oh well, it happens. All right, let's take a look at what's going on now. We got 2-2 upgrades coming out for drewbie. Drewbie also continuing to produce these Warhounds, transitioning into a fusion core, so probably going to be seeing some BCs from him. Is that the plan? Fusion core is in play. It's not even a probably, that's a guarantee. So we're going to be seeing some battle cruisers for drewbie to complement his mech army. Over here for WhiteRa, sticking with Zealot Archon. Okay, there's some Hellion harass. Speaking of the devil, now up to 12 worker kills. So that's what I must have missed. There must have been some prior Hellion harass that killed off a few workers. A little bit of a Zealot action going on. Where's he going for? I don't think, yeah, he can see that, but you can see those Zealots just completely walked all the way around. They're going to be moving straight into this position and doing some more harass. WhiteRa all over it. More worker kills 26, 27. Number's going to keep climbing a bit. Break 30. 31 worker kills for WhiteRa. Got to keep up the harassment. It's really pretty darn effective. It really is pretty darn effective. So love to see that consistently here from WhiteRa. We have those battle cruisers now in production, continuous production as well of the of the Warhounds and Hellions. And another expansion planned over here for WhiteRa, placing down the Nexus. Workers in trouble though. We do have a Dark Shrine coming through, so we should be seeing some DT harass from WhiteRa, and also some Void Ray action. Does have his mothership in play. Where's that bad boy? There it is. WhiteRa in with the mothership, protecting some High Templars here, just sitting in the center of the map. Zealots trying to move down to harass this expansion again. They get intercepted by just a mass army of Warhounds. Now drewbie does know about this expansion. The Hellion has been dealt with. Zealot got the kill. And drewbie also knows about the pylon up here, which was scouted by that Hellion, so he's going to continue to move out and take out that. We got one Zealot moving over here, which is spotted by drewbie, so he will move down to take that out. There you go. Nice and easy. But here comes the DT. Couple of DT, one DT moving over here. One DT with the Warhounds. A DT moving in the main as well. We got a Void Ray also moving over here. That could be problematic. With the Vikings all the way across the map. This is a very large army. DT continue to harass. Got DT over here. He is going straight for the armories. He's going to try to delay these upgrades. DT gets taken out from a scan and the planetary. This Void Ray charging up, trying to take out the orbital. Those Vikings going to be here shortly though. Don't think he's going to get it. Definitely not. Definitely not going to get it. Able to take out one of the armories, though, as drewbie doesn't repair it in time. Now, he has moved his force over here. Should be placing down a scan. I saw some scans not in the right spot. There we go. Finally scanning there by the armory. Protects that one, but he lost one armory, and that delayed that upgrade there, so that is quite unfortunate for drewbie. Mothership moving out with the Charge Zealot, Archon, and High Templar force here for WhiteRa. More DT harass, now moving to this expansion. He's not even going for the workers, he's going straight for the buildings. That is interesting to me. I'm surprised he's not trying to get worker kills here. Try to force a production of more of them. I don't know though. I mean, if you take out an orbital, that is pretty significant. Alright, drewbie able to handle that. He moves his entire army to do so though. Oh no! Ugh, that was painful for WhiteRa. Just threw away his High Templar. I think he might have been trying to go to storm or feed back these battle cruisers. Ended up getting nothing. DT harass over here gets dealt with. And a couple of Zealots moving in this expansion. We'll take care of that. WhiteRa sitting with the rest of his force right here under the mothership. Zealots get handled. WhiteRa expanding over here. Look at how aggressive this expansion spot is, though. I'm actually surprised. It seems like it might have been easier for him to defend an expansion in this position. I'm kind of a little surprised that he's not trying to expand here. It seems like it's more something that he'd be more capable of defending. Who knows, though? Clash of the Titans. One moment. Here we go. Moving forward. There's some storms there from the High Templar, doing a bit of damage. Also getting some feedbacks. There is the toilet. Mothership sucking up those units. We're going to see those Archons probably hop right in there as well. All right, here they go. Get ready to watch this. Everything's going to pop out. Try to get some splash damage down with that. And let's see how he does. Archon toilet. Ineffective. You're doing it wrong. I don't know. That did not work out well for a WhiteRa. Holy heck. That is too bad. Definitely too bad for him. drewbie did pretty well there. Now, drewbie is slightly behind in terms of resources lost. Also, taking a look here, he has lost significantly more workers with 63 workers killed as opposed to the 14. So WhiteRa doing a decent job. WhiteRa's income is at an advantage right now as well. Now, drewbie is pretty well situated here with that planetary plus the missile turret. Also, some extra buildings right here for more scan action, more muling. It also provides a little bit of a buffer. You know, if we see WhiteRa push over here, he can't get a full surround on the planetary. He's got to move around these things to get to it. It's a little bit of dual purpose there. WhiteRa, though, aggressively expanding. This is going to put him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is base number 7 for him. On top of the harass, with all this expanding going on, harass taking place in the form of DT. We did have some DT harass over here, now up to 70 worker kills. 3 DT moving on over into this expansion, and without a planetary. It's gonna take a few losses. There goes the missile turret. We will see a scan though. There's a scan. Battlecruiser take care of that. Army now moving up over here for WhiteRa. Now WhiteRa did lose his mothership. If you missed it, that got taken out by Vikings in the large battle that was taking place over here. Big push coming out right now. We're gonna see another big collision between these two forces. Unless WhiteRa decides to retreat. Goes for the orbital. Gets it almost. Not enough damage. Orbital is saved. drewbie now pushing towards this expansion, and he's got it in the bag. Forward scans to spot the army and everything else. Not enough over here. Couple of DT in. There's a Raven to deal with that. Raven's almost dead. Hopefully we see that get taken out. And here comes a counter push now. WhiteRa moving towards this expansion position. Where is he going to go? Where's he going to go? Where is he going to go? Unfortunately, he's walking towards the bulk of the army for drewbie. drewbie just massing up these warhounds. Zealots will force the liftoff or kill off that orbital. One or the other will be taking place. And big engagement here in the middle, but drewbie definitely has an advantage at this spot. Saw some storm damage, which was decent. Able to take out the orbital. drewbie did not lift it off. And drewbie is continuing to stay on the defensive. You know, you look at this army and you look at the way these engagements have gone, and you would say, all right, well, drewbie could just move out with this and start mopping the floor, right? I mean, that seems like that's a fair assessment. He's been doing really solid in these engagements. You can see now WhiteRa is behind in resources lost. Now, again, at the same time, I'm not oblivious to the fact that WhiteRa has killed off 82 workers. I'm fully aware of that, but still, in a head-on-head engagement, WhiteRa is getting demolished. And something else I'm a little bit surprised by is drewbie. There should be some SCVs in here repairing these guys, because that would really change the course of things. We got a couple of these guys in the red and the yellow. You know, you bring in some SCVs and mass repair that, and that's a big difference. drewbie tried to expand over here. WhiteRa moving down with his force, able to take that out, cause it to burn, and that thing is likely going to drop. We also got him now pushing towards this base, but drewbie's coming for the flank here. It's going to force WhiteRa back. Couple of storms trying to hold this back. Zealot's also trying to do the same thing as WhiteRa attempts to pull back with his forces, so that he doesn't just lose everything again. drewbie, just when there's a head-on-head engagement, WhiteRa is not standing a chance here. This composition of mass warhound plus battlecruiser is probably why they removed the warhound. Because in this matchup, it is just ridiculous. More DT harass here from WhiteRa. We'll be taking out the starport with the reactor. Never mind, there's a scan. Warhounds take him out. Another push over here, catches some warhounds by surprise, and see you later. Let's take another look here at the resources lost. WhiteRa still behind, workers killed, WhiteRa still ahead. Forward scan for drewbie, spotting the army of WhiteRa. WhiteRa will be forced to push back, doesn't really have any other chance here, but here comes the mothership. There's the vortex. And looks like drewbie's just walking into it. Ooh, mothership gone. Yeah, drewbie's fine here. These units are gonna pop up and he's gonna get rid of the rest of this, and WhiteRa is in some deep trouble right now. And he's got no counter harass going on at the moment. There's some feedbacks, that's helping a bit. But we still got some battlecruisers with a fair amount of HP left, definitely enough to engage and take out this. Let's see if he's gonna decide to do so. Yep, there we go. Pushing forward, we got one battlecruiser in the back, pretty injured, but still alive, still doing damage. WhiteRa is gonna target fire that down here with the stalkers. Few warhounds, helping with supporting fire. Uh-oh, more zealots though. Might be enough for WhiteRa to hold the line. It's gonna be pretty close here. Zealots are able to force back those warhounds and enough stalkers to deal with the battlecruisers, and unbelievably WhiteRa able to defend himself in this position. You know, I was really anticipating that he was a goner there. but was able to defend himself over here, so he's going to be able to continue to warp in. And taking a look at the income, actually drewbie sitting at a mineral advantage, a significant mineral advantage. That's going to change shortly though as WhiteRa pushes over here and gets rid of a lot of mules and SCVs. drewbie now moving out towards this expansion. This is done. Got a lot of zealots pushing forward, and here's some high Templar. We're going to see some storms. Doesn't matter. The Nexus is gone, which means no more Vespi in there out of those geysers. The minerals are pretty much all done with anyways. Battle cruisers now moving into this position. Got 2 of them just kind of going all willy-nilly over there. And besides the zealot harass, nothing else for WhiteRa. He's going to be able to take this out. And drewbie decides to stay on the offensive. He's got some units back at home to defend. We'll be able to re-land this right now. And here we go, right? WhiteRa moving forward with the zealots and stalkers. Blink stalkers pushing up. Zealots able to overwhelm the warhounds. Get these battle cruisers though, and I really don't know how he's going to deal with that. Well, he's got some stalkers, and he has got some full energy high Templar. So get ready for some feedback action here, likely on these 2 guys. He's going to try to dump that energy, but there are the feedbacks. There you go. Uh-oh, again flanked though, warhounds from the backside. Zealots move forward to deal with that. Stalkers blink away to try to take out the battle cruisers. Very close to getting that one. We got some more stalkers coming in. Zealots still chasing down these warhounds, and he might do it again in terms of defense. He might do it. Warhound is done. Battlecruiser still going free though. Gonna need to see another warp and enough stalkers here for WhiteRa to finish this off. Down to the 1 battlecruiser. This expansion is done with. Oh no. Alright, we got some more stalkers coming through. Will it be enough to take out the battlecruiser? That is the question. Still so many warhounds plus some battle hellions. It's really not looking good. And there it is, the GG well played from WhiteRa. So there you go, guys. A little bit of an older game by about a week or so, but it just goes to show you how strong these warhounds were and how effective they were in this matchup. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this game here between WhiteRa and drewbie. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll be trying to come out with some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm commentary in the future, and hopefully some updated versions with the most recent beta patch and the removal of the Warhound. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you like the content, please subscribe, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.